It's
every
the
time I play
access
my
to
game,
win.
I gamble. I don't play my game for free. If I'm not playing for money, I don't play it.
What was you about to
Like
say, Gary?
I lost like $750 because I wanted to go for a touchdown and I kicked field goal.
What?
But it's controllable. It's fine.
That's what they
Is
all
it
say.
really? I
I
was
know,
about to say, is
right?
that really? Is
That's what
that
they
really
all
control?
say. I can quit. I can stop if I want to. Oh, what do y'all think about that? What was you about to say, Carrie?
I was just saying that I would think that it's the access, the convenience,
Mhm.
mixed with like, because let's be real, like all these games alone, even the ones that are not gambling, like I get sucked into the Royal Match game and
Yep.
the, like Candy Crusher game and the Wordscapes. So games alone will draw you in the colors, see?
I literally played this game. My little screen time says I play this game 4 hours a day.
Really?
And
Yep.
you're not
Like
you're
when I'm at
not
work,
touching
I
the
just sit
money.
there and like work and play.
Seriously?
Yep.
Hmm.
And you're not like touching the money. You know what I'm saying? So you don't even have to go to the ATM,
So,
withdraw, go exchange it
nigga,
for
they
chips or
PayPal,
anything like that.
Klarna,
It's like,
nigga,
yep, it's so easy.
and I think it's the prop betting that people are getting into. You know what I mean? Like you said, like that LeBron has scored 20 points, and you like couple this dude together with these two dudes, and if they all do it, you get like a and they just make it so easy to access it. That's why this
I
dude.
was
I
just,
was watching this one dude talk about money, and he said like the one thing that's bad about investing is having the app on your phone and having that money easily accessible to you on your phone. He's like all of his investments. He said he don't have none of that shit on his phone.
I think
Yeah,
I
I saw
think
a guy
that
talking about that too.
Mm-hmm.
I think another thing is like everybody think they're a sports guru and they think they know the most about sports, so they
Some
feel
of this
like
shit is probability.
well, I mean, yeah, but I listen to some people talk and they like they feel like they got it in the bag.
yeah.
And I seen some really bad bets. And I'm just like, why would you think that was gonna work out?
Because those
And
are the
I'm
big ones. The bad ones are the big ones.
nah, they don't
I
be
like. Hey, say
big.
right now, Michigan's gonna win the national title. Put about 100 on it right now.
I
The
think
biggest,
that sports betting is probably the worst thing that can happen to men right now. And
Yeah,
now it's giving rise to sports betting gurus and all of that type of stuff.
yeah.
I think it's going to be bad. I think it's going to get worse. And one thing that I've learned is that as things get bad, like let's just say the economy goes bad or pandemic, whatever like that, profits go up at casinos.
you know,
It's the craziest thing ever. And you see it advertised. I had got propositions from sports betting, like the fan duels and all of that stuff, because they sponsor in all of the
a
podcasts,
whole bunch
right?
of people.
Everybody is
Mad
pushing that
Dog, that
shit.
yellow Mad
Everybody's
Dog or
pushing that
something.
shit.
Yeah.
And I just turned it down. Honestly, it was a lot of money. It was a huge sponsorship. And I wound up turning it down because honestly, morally, I just can't push that on people.
Your Prize Picks do it too. You ever heard Prize Picks? Them
Yeah,
niggas is everywhere.
absolutely.
Listen, every YouTuber that stream 2K, every big one, Prize Picks
Yep.
is at the man. They shouting that shit out.
Man,
They
listen, they
throwing
give
money away.
huge bags. They are giving, bro, if you got a platform and you a man, if
Yep.
you have a platform to where a lot of men tune into what you do, they are giving away buku money. That's how I'm thankful that I'm in a position to where I can make a decision on money. You know what I'm saying? Because for me, I can't push that shit, bro. I can't do it, bro. I just can't
It's
do it.
and along with those people, like I know a dude I watch play college football. He has a Prize Picks sponsorship, and then he has like a Patreon that his Prize Picks. You can see his Prize Picks, but you got to pay for them.
Nah, I can't do it, bro. I'm not, I can't, man. Like some stuff is just like And when the
What's
money
the
is
one
too
that Kevin
easy,
Hart supports? Because every time I see his ad, it just
yeah,
I
he
cringe.
got he on one of them like a FanDuel or something like that. Jamie Foxx is like a spokesman for
Oh,
MGM.
yep.
Shannon Sharp gets sponsored. Listen, they have no problem shelling out millions and millions of dollars. Instead of spending it on TV ads and stuff like that, they spending it with content creators now. And I think it's gonna hurt men even worse. I think that men, young men, it's not even, bro. Gambling like that used to be like it was either for extreme degenerates. I seen gambling give rise. The first time that I seen it really becoming a problem amongst men is when poker, like it was a huge boom in the poker community, like 10, 15 years ago. And that was when they used to do the World Series of Poker on ESPN and on TV and shit like that. And it used to be a big thing to where everybody, and I seen a movement, a mass movement of people that was moving over to DraftKings. Somebody said it in the chat, DraftKings. I seen a mass amount of people moving over to Vegas to make a living. And that showed me how influential what you promote or what's on TV or whatever will affect people's inspiration. And that's when it started to give rise to online gambling. The poker community is the ones that boomed the online gambling. Like they was the ones that was the first. They started to get regulated. And then you start seeing people like Daniel Negreanu and all of those type of people. And so they blew up. A lot of people moved. When I was following, the first vloggers I started following was people that had moved to Vegas from their home communities in North Carolina or some shit like that. And they would move to Vegas and they say, I'm gonna make it as a poker player and shit. Man, so many of them motherfuckers washed out. So
They
many of them went broke. I was watching people go broke left and right. It was a huge thing, bro. And now sports betting is bigger than ever, bro. It's bigger than ever.
I ain't gonna lie, they got me. They
Bigger than
start
ever.
they let you gamble on motorcycle races now.
Do they really?
Nigga, from the motorcycle, like the live streaming app. I ain't gonna lie, I put in a couple dollars a time or two.
Nah.
Can I ask, like, what effect is it having? Because, I don't.
Niggas is losing money.
Well, I
So,
know, but I mean, what
so
are they all talking about? I
it's a
understand
it's
that,
a
but
huge addiction. Guys are getting addicted to
okay.
gambling, and so what's happening is they're spending more and more of their time on these sites. They're spending more and more of their time sports betting. It's taking a huge impact on their finances, and it's basically putting them in this cycle to where they're addicted. Like they're getting hugely
Yeah.
addicted to gambling, which is basically taking over a lot of what they do on a regular basis.
Yeah, the
I
problem. So when you work in the casino, you got to learn about that stuff. And most people they feel like what Quinn. I'm not saying this is your issue, but like what Quinn was saying, like they feel like they could stop. They feel like they could just go
They
cold
are.
turkey, and they can't. They're not in control. They don't realize they're not in control of the situation. They are addicted, and people don't really realize how deep they're in it when they're actually and then when they're actually doing things.
Yeah.
They don't understand. Like people, like you gotta go to these classes, and they tell you how people give up their homes.
Oh
mm-hmm.
They
no,
put up their homes.
they do. They lose everything.
They put
They
up
lose their
their
businesses. They
homes.
lose their families. They
That's like
lose.
desperate. Yeah.
They
They
gotta
lose
you got think of this.
everything.
You were at a casino playing poker, and you gotta go home and explain to your wife that you don't have a place to live.
Yeah.
How? What?
It
You know
happens.
what? You know what? Somebody said it in the chat, and I didn't even think about it. The biggest rapper in the world, Drake, is sponsored by Steak.
Yeah,
Aiden Ross,
yeah.
all of them dudes is sponsored by these gambling sites. All of the biggest streamer, they all sponsored by gambling sites, bro.
Man, they put those gambling sites. Those gambling sites are probably tied into. It's just like the music industry. All those DSPs that they're tied into the record labels. Those gambling sites they probably tied into all the casinos.
Yeah, yeah.
9 times out of 10, it's all a ploy.
I think that I think that men are under attack personally.
Oh,
Uh,
that's for sure.
we under attack education wise. We under attack because it's a huge conversation about men not going to college. I was talking about this the other night, but Jason Whitlock was having a conversation, and he was saying that on all of the HBCU campuses, it's all about gay. Everything is gay now. All of the men is gay. All of the dudes that take you on campus tours is gay. And
This
men
is
are
crazy.
moving away from going to HBCUs. I think we under attack when it comes to masculinity. We under attack when it comes to addictions. We under attack when it comes to fucking everything, bro. Everything. If you are a man, you are a goddamn target on every front at this point, bro.
I remember a couple years ago, like it was a thing where women they would just put online like if a man's trying to have fun, like that's a problem. It's just like what?
Everything.
Like
Everything, bro.
it's so strange, man. I just
Every.
don't know. I don't know where this stuff comes from. Oh,
Hmm.
I don't know, man. Shit is strange.
Yeah. Yeah.
So fucking strange.
I think that gambling is probably the worst addiction that you can have. Personally, I think it's the worst addiction that any person can have.
I don't
Yeah,
know, man.
I
Crack,
think
crack
I don't know
rock,
if I
crack
think it's
rocks.
the worst, but I think it could definitely be tricky because I could see where somebody would use the very addiction to try to get out of the trouble the addiction has gotten them into. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Hmm.
I've lost a bunch of money gambling. I'm gonna go do it one more time to get out of the hole that I done gambled myself into.
I don't
So
think it's there's an addiction that's worse than gambling at all. And if you want to go to any back street on Vegas, you can see that shit. You can
you can
see.
see a lot of different addictions in Vegas.
No, because a lot of it is sourced from their gambling addiction. A lot of people get caught up in other shit because of them get I'm telling you, bro, listen. I've seen people I've seen people lose everything and they be like
Oof.
as soon as they get another $50, they like, fuck it, I'm going back. I've seen people do shit that they would have never thought that they have done in their life. I've seen people looking like fucking zombies. They bust old people into them casinos every single day, bro.
Hmm.
They bust them in there, man.
Yeah, but people have lost a lot on drugs too. So
That's
I
different.
don't.
That's a
That's
different
not.
type of that's a different type of addiction, Carrie.
No, it's a different addiction, but to me, it can still be just as detrimental.
I don't think so.
I
Nah, like
think
I don't
nah,
believe
bro.
so.
so. I don't
I
believe so.
think so.
And you'd have to
People have.
differentiate between which drugs because all drugs ain't created equal, and some people don't even consider certain things drugs. Some people don't consider marijuana drugs, for example.
Yeah, but I'm talking about in terms of
Right.
the extreme of what you were saying about people like hitting rock. Well, you didn't say hitting rock bottom, but people losing everything because of that addiction. Like, um, I that happens with drugs too. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not trying to make one worse than the other because to me, a lot of different addictions can have horrible outcomes. I agree with you though that gambling is a real ugly one because it immediately hits your finances, which directly impacts others and all of that. But yeah, drugs too is crazy.
No, I think I
My
think I
dad.
think in that. Go ahead.
Oh, look at y'all! Look at that! Nice, nice.
Shut up, Carrie.
Yeah. Ay, ay, ay. Go ahead, Quentin. You've been quiet for a while.
My dad was the dare officer, and a drug is considered anything that affects the way your mind and body works.
See, I should have went, man. This bullshit.
That's a fair point. Fair
No,
point.
that's a fact.
Yeah.
But no, all I was gonna say was like the crazy thing about gambling is like you probably don't realize you addicted to it.
No,
That's why I think
they know.
it could be worse.
No,
It
they
could
know. They know.
because with crack, like
Because think
you
about it
could
like
feel
this.
it.
Think about it like this. Do you know what kind of psychological effect it has to have on you when I read stories every day. The little babies, all of that stuff, right? All of the rappers, whatever. Do you know what psychological effect you got to have to where there is no limit? Like you can make 10 million, which means that it's not even about the fucking money no more. It's about the psychological impact of the action that places you into this space to where they're the biggest gamblers are Asians. Some of these people are billionaires, but they play because of the action. Sometimes it's not even have nothing to do with the money anymore. And they are willing to think about it. They're willing to risk everything for the action, for the dopamine hit.
Yeah, I think
That's crazy, bro.
that's for some. That's for
No,
some.
no,
And
no.
it's some people, they not high rollers and they feel like they could get some money and they're good at gambling and they fucking over a lot of bread because they don't realize they're addicted. They do not realize that they're addicted to doing that shit, man. Like it's bad. It's bad. It's bad. I ain't gonna talk about that. But yeah, they don't realize they're addicted. And I had to tell somebody, like, bruh, stop. Stop.
I've seen people stay up for 3 or 4 days straight. And you like, hey man, what the fuck is going on?
I'm
And
trying
they
to
got
hit.
the same clothes, they got the
Yeah,
same
trying to hit.
everything. I've seen people lose their jobs because they won't go to work. I've seen people do everything, bro. I've seen a lot of shit, bro. I've seen a lot of people fall off in life.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Like man, people be losing their job, losing their family.
Yeah.
They don't. I'm telling you, I swear, I don't think these people really realize what's going on.
Think about and also factor this in, Kerry. You got to
PBL addiction.
you got to factor this in. It's one of the very few addictions that's legal.
Right. Yeah.
That you go into these
No,
places,
that's true.
they pumping oxygen in there, and they don't have no fucking windows, and
Ain't no windows. Yup.
they give
No
you
windows.
they give you free drinks the whole time that you're there, and
You don't know what time of day it
I'll say
is.
it's no clocks either,
'Cause
is
it's
it?
always,
no
yeah, no,
clocks,
you don't know
no,
what time of day it is.
no nothing.
You don't know
The
nothing but the
whole idea of
machines
changing
and
money
them
into
tables.
chips, whole idea of changing money into chips, it's a psychological effect because you don't look at it as valuable when you actually hold the chips versus the cash. All of that shit
I
is
can
psychological.
say that I'm seeing more of these random like places popping up where it's like just blacked out glass, and it might be one sign that says something random. It might say game play. I asked my husband, like, what is that? He's like, they're in there gambling. I was so ignorant. I thought you I thought you could only physically like gamble at
No,
casinos. You know what I'm
no.
saying? But then when I came down here, I was like, they just have this place just set up in the
You can
strip
do that
mall.
shit right from your computer. You can do it on the phone. You can do it anywhere.
Yeah.
Anywhere.
That's
You can do it
crazy.
anywhere, anytime, any place. There is no limit. No fucking
Yeah,
limit.
they're not trying to limit that shit.
All of the
I can't
sports is
remember.
now integrated with it because the NBA is integrated with partnerships.
Yeah,
Baseball, all of this shit is integrated now. Everything is a fucking light, a fucking something. It's
yes.
everywhere. It's everywhere. And I think that is the biggest sleeper problem that nobody is really talking about. Nobody is having a conversation about, and it is going to become a problem. You throw that in the mix with all of the other people dealing with, it's over.
I
It's over.
played price picks during the college football season. I'm all right though. I'm not addicted. I'm not. I'm not addicted. Like I know
Every
not.
time
I
you
know
say
not
something, you're
to.
like, I can stop if I want. I'm
I
not
can't. Like I
addicted.
know
There's
not
no
to bet on my own
problems.
team. Like I know that. I don't. But yeah, I play price picks during the season.
I think my cousin's addicted, but she's always winning. Like she sends me the
No,
screenshots of her stuff.
Ain't that what
no,
they
she
She's
all say?
not.
always winning. It's so
No, she
bad. I
not.
asked her, could I like put into the kitty? She's always freaking winning. But they go
No,
to the
she ain't.
casino.
Listen, Carrie, if you believe that shit, I gotta bring shit to you. No, she is not. No, she is not. Be very
And she'll
wary of
play with
people that
like
don't.
$50 and walk away with like 1,000. I'm like,
Yeah,
really?
she
You
done
believe
played
that
with the
shit,
thousand
Carrie?
and walked away with nigga
She
negative
literally sends
before.
me
She didn't tell
photos
you
of the
about it.
little
Carrie, but
receipt thing.
ask her how much
No,
she
nigga.
lose.
How much she lose when she ain't sending the receipts?
I'm telling y'all, I'm gonna ask her how much she thinks she has
Listen,
I had a
when
lost
dude
this
she
that used
year.
to do that. He used to go to the casino all the time. And he'll post on Facebook his receipts. I'm like, nigga, you didn't
when
post
she
yesterday, nigga, you
lose,
lost.
when she lose, I bet you she a fucking crash dummy.
Yep, she don't say nothing.
I bet you she a
Silent.
crash dummy when she lose. Probably be
Yep.
emotional, broken up inside.
I don't know. I'm gonna ask her. She be winning a lot
Do
though.
you really believe that she's a winning? There are no
I
winning players, Carrie. There
Vegas
are
she's
are
so
built on
zero.
adamant.
losers.
She's so adamant about like she seems like she's disciplined. Like I only will play with this amount. That's it. When she wins a certain amount, she takes some off the top. Then she'll play the rest. And like,
This is what they all sound like. This is like the gambler starter pack. Everything you just said.
Listen. This is what I know for a fact. There are
am I the
zero.
enabling cousin?
There are zero. I don't give a fuck who's
Yes,
telling
ma'am.
y'all. I don't care what's happening. There are zero winning players. Zero. None. There are none. Casinos are not built on winners.
I get it. I get that.
There is zero. Zero. And most people do not post the losses, they only post the wins.
Yeah.
If you're not
That's
listen,
bad.
if you're not going for entertainment, purely entertainment, and don't trick yourself into thinking that you're going for entertainment when you're not. If you're not going for purely entertainment, straight up, then you are losing. You are a I'm telling you, there are no winners. You are paying for that shit. Straight up. Quentin is addicted. We gonna have to get him
No,
in.
I'm not. No, I am not addicted.
We gotta get Quentin into a treatment
I'm
program.
so addicted.
No, I'm
That's
not.
part of the reason why I got off of social media because they use that same
It is.
psychology when it comes to you scrolling. That's why people just scroll and they lose track of time because you never know what you're gonna get and your brain gets hooked because it
Right.
doesn't know. They use the same methods, so
That's
I
for
don't deal with
That's
it.
true.
mentally
Cause
weak
one, I
people.
was like, one more scroll. I'm gonna find something good.
I
One more
It's
can't.
scroll.
intentional.
I
Yeah.
can't get addicted to anything.
Fucking up your sleep.
Nope.
It does.
Can't get. I can't get addicted to nothing.
And that's true. I did get banned for
Zero.
winning. When I hit hard, because they'll push you off. Trust me. Listen, you start winning too much in sports betting or blackjack, they will absolutely ban you from the foot. They will say, no, we don't want your action. And if you come here again, you trespassing.
Yeah, they some hoes
On
for
the
that.
app?
Yeah.
You
No,
have
in
an
the, in
app?
the casino.
They could do it in the app
Oh,
and a casino if they want to.
Yeah,
They
they
did
they
that
some
to me
hoes.
before in the
They don't
casino.
like
see
you
my
winning too
problem with
much?
that shit
I
is
was winning. Hmm.
my problem with that is like you rig the casinos a certain way for people to lose all their money. You don't want them counting cards. You got all this shit fixed up against the skilled players. The players who really are skilled, you don't allow them to play the way that they could win. And then if they make too much money playing the way you want, you gonna kick them out?
Listen,
Hmm.
they don't mind you winning at other games because they
That
know
shit's
based off of
sick.
probability and math, it's okay. They don't care about craps. They don't care about baccarat. They don't give a fuck about none of that. You can win $1 million.
Yeah.
They're gonna be like, come on back. But anything that gives a house edge, right? If you are is sports betting and it's blackjack. If you beat them up too bad in those, they have the right to refuse and they will push you off. They have
Yeah.
no fucking problem with that.